So Ackermans has been around for almost 100 years in South Africa. We have 4 major brands. The big one is Ackermans, which is the mothership. And it is a retailer, a clothing retailer. It's value for money proposition, so it's not aimed at high quality or high priced items. But what we do want to give people is really good value for money. We come from a history, a legacy history of lots of old-fashioned applications that have been developed for years and years and years. And we've started now looking at putting in place actual solutions that meet that specific business need. And so when we were looking at the JDA solutions, they really are tailored towards retail business needs in particular areas, and they really solve problems very directly. And so what we've found is that as we start to look at a business unit and a business process, we're finding that there's a solution that meets that process very beautifully, and it's a great fit for us. So when we chose to implement allocation, we got a partner, and in South Africa we're very lucky. We have a great JDA partner there called UCS, and we got UCS on board. It was quite a straightforward as is, because it was all in Excel and was hit and miss, right? So the focus really for the implementation was on how to use allocation best, rather than just trying to take what we had and replace it. And it was a nice process in the sense that it had all the planners sit down and actually think about how they wanted to feed their product plans all the way through into an execution in the stores. And the focus of the entire implementation was effectively the need variable and how to build that. And when we actually put people's focus onto thinking from that perspective, rather than all the fudging ways that they'd been doing it previously, it actually centered the whole planning process on that one particular calculation, the need variable, and actually made the implementation very easy, because then people were just so excited about getting this variable that was going to be calculating the allocation need for them. And all they were then simply needing to do was validate it and sense check it and push it out the door. And so the implementation itself, I think we were done within about 3 months. It was really, really quick. And even the integration, which is the technical side of it, what was very easy for us. We did everything from, we have a very big old, and we're busy replacing it, mainframe, and we just pulled all the data that we needed. And I have to say that the integration points for allocation are very, very well defined and very clearly spec'd out. So it made that implementation for us very simple. So the process, the actual allocation process has gone from 20 minutes down to about, let's say, 4 or 5 minutes. But the actual entire business process has gone from 2 days down to about an hour now. So it's incomparable, really, how it was before and how it is now. And the experience for the user is also phenomenally different. So they've gone from those horrible green screens and a lot of typing, you know, literally put in numbers tab, put in numbers tab, that kind of typing process, into a GUI front end, which is, you know, it's Windows, it's shiny, it's sparkly, it looks pretty, it's drop and drag, it's, you know, and it's quite a lot like Excel. So immediately, that was the other thing. Because it looks quite a lot like Excel, we actually found the change management was very simple. People adopted it very easily, which was very helpful. They're now planning about twice as many items as what they were planning before, because it's so much easier for them. So the planning process went from the 20 minutes down to about 4 minutes, because they don't have to do all this manual work in getting the information into allocation. And because they now have more time on their hands, if you will, we've effectively given them more products to plan. That didn't mean that we lost planners along the way. It actually meant that we could broaden the assortment in our stores. So that comes to the second point, which is now we actually have an assortment in the stores that is what our customer is looking for in the first place. But also, secondly, we've got the right levels of stock in the store. Whereas before it was quite hit and miss. You'd go into stores and they just hadn't gotten stock at all because they were down on the last page, and by then the planner had run out of steam. Now we're actually allocating it according to a need variable, which is telling us how much stock should go into that store from, you know, a number of different parameters and things. And that means that if you go into our stores now, you're likely to find the item you're looking for. And not only that, you're likely to find that item in many colors, because we've now been able to do that because we were more productive in how we're planning our process. Which means we've got more sales, which means that we've obviously, as a company, the time efficiency and the productivity we've gotten out of the planners was the focus. That was really what we were aiming at. But we've gotten this more and bigger advantage out of having allocation in place, which means that the stores are actually selling what our customers want. And with us now moving to a best-of-breed package and actually starting to look at packages that suit a particular business need, what we're finding is that our business units are starting to think about how better to operate themselves. And with something like a JDA application, they actually have the opportunity to rethink their business processes and look at best of breed and best of practice and bring in efficiencies and ways of thinking that were not even there before because they were so stuck in a 15-year-old process. But also we're changing the face of how our users do business. And that, when you're standing and looking out into the future, is just such an exciting place to be. So I'm really loving my job at the moment.